Alrighty, guys, thanks for joining me. We are back in Toronto, Canada, Exhibition Stadium for the third game of the three-game series against the Toronto Blue Jays. Kansas City Royals took the first two games of the series. Now they're going for the sweep. The few fans that made it here from Kansas City, or the locals that are rooting for the Royals, they have brought their brooms to the stadium today, as we have the last matchup between Toronto and Kansas City here. Batting, yes, Willie Wilson, Kevin Steitzer, George Brett, Danny Tarnbull, Pat Tabler, Bob Boone, Frank White, Kurt Stillwell, Gary Thurman. Pitching today for your Royals, Tom Gordon. In the lineup for the Toronto Blue Jays, it's Tony Fernandez, Junior Felix, Kelly Gruber, George Bell, Fred McGriff, Ernie Witt, Lloyd Mosby, Lance Millikins, and Manny Lee. Pitching for the Blue Jays, Jimmy Key, the left-hander. So one change to the lineup, actually, again, one of the right fielder was not listed, so I looked at all the right fielders they had. Junior Felix played the most games, 120 or something like that, so put him in the lineup. So he didn't actually play this game, but the right fielder, I forget the person's name. It was, I will tell you because I am a professional, Mookie Wilson. For some reason, Mookie Wilson is not in inside pitch. Maybe I'm not sure if he didn't have. Let's look at Mookie Wilson, shall we? Mookie Wilson in 1989 played 134 games, had over 500 plate appearances, 487 at bats. So I'm not sure why he's not in. Looks like he got traded from the Mets or to the Mets, and then came back to Toronto after that. So I don't know. 1989 was a little weird for Mookie Wilson. Anyways, he's not in it today, so we'll just live without him. So we're moving on. All right, Jimmy Key, let's take a look at him. So far, he's 0-2 against Kansas City, 8.71 ERA. Only pitched 9 1/3 innings, giving up 16 hits, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. Here we go, and he's finishing up his practice pitches there, and he's getting things ready for the game. This is a game that happened August 3rd, 1989. Bo Jackson probably still in training camp at this time. The attendance 48,731 in the Sky Dome. We have a night game on turf. And this is game number 107 of the season. So let's see what happens. Willie Wilson, 273 average against Jimmy Key. And Key waits for the sign from Witt, and here it is. The pitch is on the way, 35. And Willie Wilson waits on a good one. Here one comes, and this one's raced into right field. It's going to fall in front of Felix for a leadoff single. Leadoff single for Willie Wilson that brings up Kevin Steitzer, 265 average. Third baseman, 1-2, and a possible wild pitch. 19 is outside the range, so no wild pitch. As Witt saves that one, backhands it, and might have, could have had a home run check there, but Steitzer, no cigar. 3-3. That's going to be ground ball to Fernandez. Fernandez flips it over to. No, he thought about passing it over to Lee, but has to throw to McGriff at first. Willie Wilson gets over to second too quick, and he's safe there. Out at first. One away. George Brett, 253 average. And a 24. And George Brett swing and a miss on that curveball. 2-away for Danny Tarnbull, 246 average, 6 and a 5. 2-away here in the top of the first, 2-4, and that's going to be a ground ball to Fernandez, and that's going to do it. So for the first time in this series, Toronto does not let the Royals score in the first inning. Tom Gordon. So far in the season, he's 2-3 with a save, 3.36 ERA. He's pitched 93.2 innings, given up 80 hits, 78 strikeouts, 45 walks. So Tom Gordon takes the hill today, and he'll be facing off against Fernandez, Junior Felix, and Kelly Gruber here in the bottom of the first inning. The shortstop steps in. He waits on the pitch. Here's Tom Gordon, and that one's outside. So another pitch comes in, and this time he laces it down the line. George Brett's there. Good position by Brett, one away. Junior Felix, let's take a look at him since we haven't seen much. So he has played 6 games against the 6 of the 8 games, so we've seen quite a bit of him. He's had 21 at-bats, scored a run, 3 RBIs, no home runs, a stolen base, and a .333 average. So the right fielder, Junior Felix, and this time he's going to walk, and he's going to promptly try to steal. He's waiting on the pitch. Here it comes. And he's in there with a stolen base off of Tom Gordon in scoring position. Junior Felix and Kelly Gruber. He swings at a curveball there from Gordon and strikes out. George Bell, 371 average. No strikeout that time. And a 63. That's going to be fly ball into center field. How deep is it? Not deep enough, as that's going to end it for the first inning. We're going on to the second inning, still scoreless. Top of 2. Pat Tabler, the left fielder, 55. Pat Tabler. And he's going to fly ball into right field. Junior Felix makes the play. Bob Boone, the catcher. The righty versus lefty matchup, 5-3. That's going to be ground ball hit to Fernandez. 2 away for Frank White. 3-4. And let's see what White can do here. 1-4. 1-4. That's going to be fly ball into center field. So another 1-2-3 inning for Jimmy Key. Fred McGriff, first baseman. 2-6. Ooh, just misses that. Foul tips that one off. Gets another pitch. This one he laces up high into the sky. And that's going to be camped under by Wilson and caught for the out. Ernie Witt, catcher, 4-4. That's going to be a exhibition stadium check. 44 matches by a 44 is going to get you a double into left field for Ernie Witt. So 1 on, 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. Lloyd Mosby. We have another exhibition stadium check. 1-2. This one's into right field. 14 is going to be a triple as Lloyd Mosby cranks that one into the corner. Thurman racing over to it. It bounces off the wall. He misses the cutoff man and all the way around second. And here comes Lloyd Mosby slides in head first. And Toronto scores first here in game number 3. Rance Millikins. And, no, okay, he's a lefty. Lots of lefties in the lineup today. 6-5. That's a ground ball hit to short. Is the base runner going to try to score? Yes. Will the defense try for the auto out at first? Yes. So he is going to score out at first. So another run comes in on the hit. And it's 2-0. Manny Lee, 3-2. And a ground ball back to Gordon. Gordon flips it over to Brett, and that's going to do it. But 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors. Go to the top of the third. The Blue Jays strike first. They're up 2-0. Kurt Stillwell, 3-4. And he's going to strike out Gary Thurman, the right fielder. Range play at the ballpark again. That's going to be really good for you or really bad. 2, 3. So normally this would be an out, but let's see if Mosby can make the play. No, he cannot, so it's going to fall in for a hit. Gary Thurman, and he'll take that hit. So 1 on, 1 out, and he's going to try steal. And he's in there with stolen base, so each team with 1 stolen base so far is Jimmy Key. Was not prepared for that. Wilson, 1-3, and that is a walk. So runners at first and second, and the Royals have something going here in the top of the third. That brings up Steitzer in his 264 average. 264 average. 33, that's going to be a ground ball hit to short. And it's going to be a ground ball double play to get him on the inning. That's going to be 6-4-3. And no runs on 1 hit, no errors after 2.5 complete, 2-0 Toronto. Back to the top of the lineup, Tony Fernandez. And he's going to walk. So he's going to start off with Junior Felix here. And Felix strikes out on a curveball. So 2 walks, 2 strikeouts for Tom Gordon. 3-5. And that is gone off the bat of Kelly Gruber. And that's 2 more runs as Toronto now doubles their lead to 4 runs. George Bell, the left fielder, he also walks. All this with 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Fred McGriff, 3-3. Fred McGriff, 2-3, and against a right-hander, that's going to be a home run by Fred McGriff, and just like that, he clears the bases. Fred McGriff scores, George Bell scores, and it's now 6-0 Toronto here. They have a meeting on the mound as Tom Gordon is no longer feeling that he can do this. Range play here. 6-3, and it's going down to Brett. He can't make the play. It's going to roll into right field for a single. And they're batting around here in the bottom of the third. Lloyd Mosby, 6-4. And he hits one to Steitzer. Steitzer gets him out at second for the second out. Mosby gets to first in time. Rance Millicanis, the DH, 5-3, Millicanis, and he's going to hit a ground ball to second, and that's going to do it, but 4 runs on 3 hits, no errors against Tom Gordon. Go to the top of the fourth, 6-0 Toronto. George Brett, and he's not hit by the pitch. Gets out of the way there. And lines one right at Lee at second base. 1 away. Danny Tartenbull. And he's going to single pass Gruber into left field. So maybe Kansas City can get a couple runs back. Let's see what happens. Pat Tabler. 2-3. A range play here against the Blue Jays. And that's going to the shortstop, Fernandez. Oh, and he cannot make the play. The only 6 will be the only one that fails him. And this time it does fail him, as that's going to be runners on first and second with 1 out for Bob Boone. Booney could make things interesting here. 4-4 against the right-hander. Oh, he just doesn't hit him. He had the chance too. Wrong person up at the plate at the time. Ground ball hit towards Lee. Lee flips it to Fernandez. Fernandez on to McGriff, and that is another ground ball double play. Pitcher's best friend gets him out of the inning. So no runs on 2 hits and no errors. Going to the bottom of the fourth, 6-0 Toronto. Manny Lee, he strikes out. Tony Fernandez, We got exhibition stadium check. And we got us a rare play. The right fielder dives after a sinking liner. Resolve is a range play. And Thurman cannot make the play. It's going to fall in there for a single. And then Fernandez is going to try to steal, which he does. So gets into scoring position with one out. Brings up Junior Felix, the right fielder. And another range play against Toronto here. 66, that's into right field. Thurman's in 2, and Thurman makes the play. Tony Fernandez is going to tag up and get to third base, though. That brings up Kelly Gruber. 1 for 2 with a home run. 4-5. This time trying to power it out. He overswings on the slow slider. And 1 hit, no runs, no errors. We go to the top of the 5th. 6-0 Toronto. Frank White, 42, and exhibition stadium check. 32, that's going to be ground ball, hit to second. Lee makes the play. Kurt Stillwell, he's not hit by the pitch. 5-2, but he grounds it back to Key. Jimmy Key for the out. 2 away here for Gary Thurman. 6-5. And Thurman waits on a good one. And he grounds this one to Lee. Scoops it up. Throws it to McGriff. It's a 1-2-3 inning. Tom Gordon. What happened? What happened to you, my friend? Well, we're going to leave you in there. 6-0. We might as well. 4-5, and well, it's a good call as he gets a strikeout on George Bell. Brings up Fred McGriff. 6-5. No hit by pitch. 5-6, and he's going to single into left field. So McGriff, 2 for 3 on the day. Ernie Witt, catcher. And he's a lefty. 4 lefties in a row in the lineup today. 3-4. Fly ball into right for the second out for Lloyd Mosby. 1 for 2 with a triple. A killer triple. Cleared the bases. 4-4. And that one's going to be a fly ball into center field. And Tom Gordon gets an easy 1-2-3 inning for a change. Actually, no, because there was a hit in there. Sorry. Willie Wilson, center fielder. 5-6. He's going to strike out to go along with his walk. Kevin Steitzer. 6-3. Steitzer waits on it. 6-5. And that is going to be an error on Bell, as Bell should have caught it but did not. It's a 2-base error as it gets over his head as he takes a bad angle to it. And Kevin Steitzer's aboard with a 1-out double. George Brett, the first baseman. And Brett, against the lefty, if he would have been a right-hander, it would have been a home run check, although it was a 20, so it wouldn't have happened. Anyways, but George Brett, 1-4. He's got something into left field, and it's a single. And the single is... it's a 5, so lead runner advances. So coming in to score from second, Steitzer. The roll is less than or equal to the trailing runner's base running. The roll is not less than. The trailing runner advances on the throw. So staying at first is going to be Brett. So 6-1. Danny Dartenbull, the DH, needs to start getting things going. And trying too hard here, swings and misses. Pat Tabler, left fielder. And a range play here. 2-3, and that's going to be towards Gruber, and he can't make it. And that's going to go for a double. Coming all the way around from first is George Brett. coming all the way around to score, and it's now 6-2 on the double by Pat Tabler. Jimmy Key shows a little bit of chink in his armor, and no hit by pitch. In a 4-3, that's going to be a fly ball into center field, and that's going to do it. But 2 runs on 2 hits, and the error is going to help get Kansas City back into the game here, down 6-2, going into the bottom of the 6th. Rance Milikanis, the DH, and he swings at a ball way outside the zone there. Manny Lee, second baseman, 5-3 and 35. That's going to be a fly ball into right field. 2-away for Tony Fernandez, 1 for 2 on the day, 2-3. Again, range play at the ballpark. You can steal hits away, or you can have hits happen that shouldn't have happened. As this should have been an easy ground ball to shortstop, but Stillwell failed to make the play, so it turns from an out to a hit. Then Fernandez is thinking about stealing, but Boone throws him out on a gun. The quick tag by Stillwell, and that's going to do it for the 6th inning. Good defense there by Kansas City. Frank White, Kurt Stillwell, Gary Thurman due up here in the top of the 7th. Clinton Park says he's enjoying this. Well, thank you so much for coming by and letting me know you're enjoying this. 45, that's going to be a little ground ball. He comes in the grass, picks it up, throws it to McGriff for the first out. Top of 7, Kurt Stillwell. Shortstop, 2-3, and a range play here against Toronto, and this one is going towards Lee. He's going to make a good diving stop and rolls over, throws, and makes it in time. 2-away. Good defense by Toronto. And Gary Thurman, 5-4, and Thurman's going to swing and miss at a ball outside the zone. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Jimmy Key. We got the 7th inning stretch, so everyone take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never come back, 'cause it's a root for the home team. In this case, let's root for the 1989 Kansas City Royals, for if they don't win, it's a shame. 'Cause it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Everybody, fly ball into center field, but that'll be it, as Tom Gordon is run out of gas. Tom Gordon... And they got 2 righties and then 4 lefties. So we'll bring in a righty. Steve Crawford's coming in. Here in the bottom of the 7th, Toronto's up 6-2. 44, we got a stadium check here. 44 and 55. That's going to be a ground ball down to first. George Brett makes the play. George Bell 0 for 2. George Bell, 23, and that's going to be ground ball down to George Brett as well. We're going on to the 8th inning. Toronto holding on to a 4-run lead. Jimmy Key, Willie Wilson, 2-6. It's going to be a home run check, 1-4, and Willie Wilson's going deep. Come on, Blue Dice, don't hate us. Oh. It's going deep. It's going to be caught at the wall by Mosby. Good defense there. Keeps that one from getting out. Kevin Steitzer. And that's not in the zone. 35. And that's going to be a single past Fernandez. And he's aboard. Pitcher must be removed. So Tony Key. And let's see, who did they bring in? Frank Willis. Frank Wills. Frank Wills, sorry. Not Willis. Frank Wills. All right. So Frank Wills, the right-hander, comes in. Facing off against George Brett, 4-2. Could have used a walk there, you know. 5-6, fly ball into left field, 2 away. Danny Dartenbull. Come on, Danny. You haven't done jack for a long time. 2-4. Oh, Danny Dartenbull. Come on, baby. 1-14. Say it isn't so. It's going, gone off the bat of Danny Dartenbull, just as I called it, just like I did with George Brett the other day. A couple games ago, I called George Brett out. I said, dude, it's time to start doing some things, and he went and hit 2 home runs in that game. So Danny Dartenbull finally gets off the schneid. I remember we looked at this previously. He had 6. That was his 7th home run of the season. And in real life, he had 18. So he's more than half the season. He needs to start picking up the pace here. And this will help, as 2 runs will score, Steitzer and Danny Dartenbull. And that puts a little life in the Royals here off of Frank Wills, who's come in to relieve Key. And could that be a mistake? But they had to pull him. He was tired. 5-3, there we go. Pat Tabler, 2 for 3 on the day, and that's going to fall in as Bell once again stumbles trying to make his break on the ball, and that's his 2nd error of the game, and this one is also a 2-base error. Things are starting to switch here, as now we're in the top of the 8th inning. Things are going to get a little more interesting. The hometown crowd that was about ready to leave are now sitting down, and the Kansas City fans that have made it over are starting to make a little bit of noise. Bobby Boone's up, the catcher, and he's going to walk. So runners at first and second. The tying runs are aboard. Frank White, 2 away here, 4-2, and could have used another walk. 5-6, that's going to be a double. Is that going to clear the bases? No, it's not, as Bob Boone stops, but Pat Tabler comes in to score, though. And we got runners at second and third now, and that is going to be it for Frank Wills. I don't like bringing in players that didn't play in the game, and the only 2 pitchers that played in this game, but I'm not going to leave this guy in if he continues to do this. So they're going to bring in Tom Hankey. He's a right-hander. Now, actually, they're going to bring in Dwayne Ward. They were bringing in Dwayne Ward, I think, because Hinkey's got more saves. So this guy's more of like a setup man, but he might get a few saves here and there. The other 2 guys are lefties, and I don't want to go way down here because this is going to probably be your middle reliever type guys here. So they're going to be going with Dwayne Ward. There we go. So Dwayne Ward, we saw him just the other day. He's 6'28", 4 1/3, 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, 4 walks. He's a 4.44 man. Well, that brings up Kurt Stillwell, who's having an off day, 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Let's see if Kansas City made any changes. Nope, they brought nobody in, nobody pinch hit, nobody did nothing. So as much as I would like to take Stillwell out and replace him, I'm not going to do it. So Stillwell, you need to step up to the plate. You got to make it happen. That's all I got to say. We're in the top of the 8th, 3 runs across so far, and that's cut into the lead. Toronto now only up by a single. And that's going to load the bases. Kurt Stillwell as Dwayne Ward trying to get him to chase on a curveball out of the zone. That brings up Gary Thurman, 260 average, 1 for 3 on the day with a strikeout, one big hit, and Kansas City could pull ahead. Let's see what happens. 2-3, and he strikes him out on the pitch. That time he got him on the curveball, but Kansas City has clawed back into this game down 6-0. They've scored 5 runs here in the last few innings to cut into that deficit. They're now down by 1. Steve Crawford needs to hold on for dear life. He's got Fred McGriff, Ernie Witt, and Lloyd Mosby to deal with. McGriff is 2 for 3 with a home run. And, oh my gosh, almost another home run. And this time it's a ground ball hit to White, 1 away. Ernie Witt 2 for 3 with a double, scored a run. 6-4, and that's going to be a ground ball down to Brett. And the defense for Kansas City, we mentioned it a couple innings ago, started to play better. And that's going to be an auto out to Steitzer. Steitzer, Mr. No Range, is actually playing some good ball. And here we go. Hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be the time. We got us a finish here. Dwayne Ward, he's going to have to face off against the 1, 2, and 3 hitters. Willie Wilson, Kevin Steitzer, and George Brett. And as Dwayne Ward gets ready to pitch, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something we have not done, I think, all season. Willie Wilson's going to try and bunt for a hit. And let's see what happens. Come on, get it. 1-5. Oh, that would have been a home run check. Great bunt. Bunter safe with the single. So Willie Wilson with the bunt single. And look at that. And he is going to try to steal. Get into scoring position with no one out here in the top of the 9th. On the pitch, here he goes. And runner safe, check catcher for an error. The catcher is a error of, oh my God, I can't even read that number. I think it's yes, it is a 6. A 20 is rolled, so no error as hits wide. But Lee, the second baseman, Manny Lee, jumps up high in the air to grab that one. As it looks like the little bit of dirt got on the ball, and Witt almost airmailed that. But it is a stolen base. So we have us Willie Wilson, who bunt hit and fouled it up with a steal. He's in scoring position. Kevin Steitzer, 2 up. Now, what? Now we have to, we're just cruising right along, just click, 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 click. Now we have to actually stop and think. Does Steitzer bunt him over with no outs? Or do you take this 3 shots at swinging for a hit? Steitzer's batting .264. He's 1 for 4. He's a 3 bunter. And the defense going to play corners in, thinking that you're going to bunt as well? So if I'm Toronto, I'm thinking, yeah, he's going to try to bunt him over. So I'm going to play corners in. And as Steitzer watches them bring the corners in, does he lay down the bunt? I think I'm almost tempted to do hit and run. That's what I'm tempted to do, but I am going to play the odds and go with the sacrifice. And even though they're playing in, let's see what happens. 1-6, and that's going to be a walk as Dwayne Ward couldn't get it over. Now they want to put the double steal on again? Get the winning run? Oh my gosh. George Brett is up. So maybe they're going to take Ward out and bring a lefty in. They're going to bring in David Wells to face off just for George Brett, because this is going to be a crucial situation. So Brett isn't known to be one of the best bunters in the world. Lefty on lefty matchup. You don't pull George Brett, though. So we're going to just have to let it roll and see what George Brett can do here. David Wells comes in. He has only pitched 1 1/3 innings, given up no hits, 1 strike, 1 walk. And I'm tempted to do the double steal. I am tempted, but I am not going to be Al Red Sox fan who likes to do all of this. Every other play is going to be, hit and run or bunt for a hit. Once in a while, yes, but let's see what happens. 25, and against a righty, that would have been a strikeout, but against a lefty, George Brett's fine. Let's see what he can do. 2-6. That's going to be into center field. Can they tag up on the play? 6. The 6 says nobody's going anywhere. I think die has to be less than the base running to advance. So George Brett not deep enough. Danny Turnbull 2 for 4 with the home run. Danny, now we just talked about Danny earlier and putting the pressure on him to get things going, and then he proceeded to hit a home run. Can he do back-to-back 6-4? And he's going to walk the bases loaded. That's going to put runners in scoring position. Oh, actually, it's too late. I can't go back, but I should have pulled Wells to face off against the right-handers anyway, so that's kind of my bad. Tom Hinkey's going to come in, the righty. I got so excited, I forgot what I was doing. That's why I don't like managing both teams. I love inside pitch, but there's no AI, so you can't play the other games. You can't, play a season. And the other thing is you have to play both teams, and you have to remember to do all the pulling of the players and repositioning and all the stuff that comes with that. So, question is now, does the defense play back, go for the double play, which they've gotten 2 or 3 so far, or do they play in to try and make sure Willie Wilson doesn't score? Willie Wilson is a 5 runner, which means the only thing that stops him from scoring is a 6 on the 6-sider. If you play in, I think it drops by 2. But then your ranges drop as well. So, do you play for the double play? Well, I think because the bases are loaded, you're going to have to play back. Give up the run if the run scores, but you do not want more than 1 run to score. Pat Tabler is 2 for 4 with a double, scored a run and an RBI, batting .280. And just as quickly, Kansas City now has 10 hits on the game. I think they're going to play back. Or they could play corners in. Or halfway. Maybe halfway. And this will actually be the first time I actually played halfway. So I am going to do halfway. I think your range only goes down 1. And your base runner only goes down 1 if I'm not mistaken. But we're going to do halfway. Because they can't really make up their mind what they want to do. And we'll see what happens. So 2-4 against right-handers are blank. So it's coming off of Pat Tabler's card. Come on, Pat. Hit one deep. 1-3. 1-3. That's going to be fly ball into right field. Felix, is it deep enough? It is deep enough. As a sacrifice fly, Willie Wilson makes it in, and we got us a tie ball game. If the roll is less than or equal to the ABR, then runner advance. First runner advancement die. Which I think this goes with. I hit sacrifice fly, and the run scored, but nobody else moved. So I think that's all you get. It looks like, anyways. I could be jipping myself. Runner from second might have gone to third, but I think in this case they didn't throw it home. They decided to throw it towards second or third or whatever. So we got us a tie ball game, anyways, as the Royals. Bob Boone, catcher, 1-1, and he's going to strike out to end the inning. But the Royals have made it all the way back and tied this ball game up 6-6. Steve Crawford, is he going to give way now? Is he going to give way? He's got a little bit of strength left. We got lefty, a switchy, and a switchy. So we got one lefty and then 3 switch hitters. What do we have left in our bullpen as all we got's righties? We got 3 lefties, Jerry Gleaton, Charlie Leibrandt, which is starting pitcher, and Bob Buchanan, but he only played in 2 games. Charlie Leibrandt only played in 6 games. I guess this means as a reliever. So, and these guys did not actually make it into this game. Again, I hate bringing in players that didn't play in the game, but in this situation, it didn't go like this in real life, and we have to bring in players, right? I think they're going to bring in Steve Farr, the setup man here. And then let Monty go. And so Steve Farr is going to come in. Rance Millicanis versus Steve Farr. Bottom of 9, tie ball game 6-6, and it's a strikeout as Millicanis watches that 96-mile-an-hour sinker go right under his bat. A good catch by Boone. One away. Manny Lee 0 for 3 on the day. Batting 143, 5-3, and he's going to walk on a 3-2 pitch on the outside corner. He doesn't have much. I mean, he has an okay chance to steal, but Tony Fernandez 4-5. He's switch hitting, so it means he goes to the left side, or else it would have been a home run check. 8 against a right-hander would have been a home run. So, good thing he's on the left side. That could have been danger. And that's going to be a fly ball. It's going out to Wilson in center field, 2 away. They called for the pickoff attempt, but there is no stat there, so there's no sense in rolling it. Junior Felix, 2-1, and he's going to strike out. So Steve Farr comes in, gets 2 men, and we're headed to extras here in Toronto. And the folks that left early are going to miss some free baseball, thinking their team was up 6-0, and they wanted to beat the rush home. Well, they're listening to it on the radio in their cars, stuck in traffic, thinking we shouldn't have left. Frank White, 1 for 4 with the double. Frank White, and he strikes out to Tom Hinkie. Kurt Stillwell, 0 for 3 with a very important walk. 6-3 wild, nobody on, so it doesn't matter. 6-5. Possible error check here. 5-4. That's going to be a single past McGriff. No error on McGriff, but it's still by him in. That's going to put Kurt Stillwell on. Not the fastest of runners, but not slow either. Gary Thurman, 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Again, I'd like to pull him, but 3-2. Uh-oh, range play at the ballpark. Double combination, you can get hits that should have been outs, or you get outs that should have been hits. So let's see what happens. 1-4. That's going to be a ground ball to second. Lee makes a play, actually. So, and advancing is Stillwell out at first for the second out, but Stillwell gets into scoring position for Willie Wilson. 2 for 4 with a walk, a strikeout, scored a run, and also had the bunt for a hit to lead things off for the Royals in the top of the 9th. Now, I'm thinking, let's just let it roll. Willie Wilson, 3-3, strikes him out. So that's going to be it there. We're going to the bottom of the 10th. Steve Farr, Kelly Gruber, 1 for 4 with the home run. Third baseman, 55, air and a ground ball possibly. 22, it's a pop-up, so no error check needed, and that's caught by Stillwell. George Bell, 0 for 3. He's got a walk, a strikeout, and scored a run. 6-3, and oh no. We got his arranged play. 2-3, and that's going to be to Stillwell, who cannot get it. It's going to roll into left field, and George Bell is aboard. Farr's looking a little tired out there. He's officially tired. I hate to give up a single just because we didn't switch pitchers. They're going to bring in Terry Leach. Terry Leach is going to come in. And they want to sacrifice with Fred McGriff. No. He's not a very good bunter to begin with. At 108, they're going to just let McGriff swing away. He does have a home run on the day, by the way. Oh, just missed that strikeout. 3-3. That's going to be ground ball to White. Can they get it? White to Stillwell. Stillwell guns it to Brett. Brett stretches and makes it. It's a ground ball double play. 4-6-3. We go to the 11th, still tied at 6 apiece. All right. Kevin Steitzer, the third baseman, 1 for 4. 4-4, and he's going to strike out. That is the 4th strikeout by Hinkie. George Brett, the only lefty in the lineup. Can he do something here? 56, 65 against the right-hander. It's going to be a single past Lee, and that's going to go in. And Hinkie's tired, so they're going to be pulling Hinkie. Wow, maybe they don't have much left. They got a left-hander. They've kind of blown. They got Stoudemire, which is starter. Dwayne Bryce. Xavier Hernandez. Amaru Gazzo. He's only made it in 6. Hernandez only made it in 7. Do you bring a lefty in when you got all these righties? 1, 2, 3, 4 righties in a row. All right, they're going to have to go with, I mean, they could leave Hinkie in. Problem is, all these ones with the little parentheses is going to be a single instead of, something else. You know what? Danny Turnbull, they're going to put on the hit and run, and we're going to see what happens here. They're going to leave Hinkie in. Again, not trying to get Kansas City an extra hit because of this. They just don't have anyone to bring in. So we're gonna have the game forces to bring someone in, but let's see what happens. So put the hit and run on here. 6-2. That's a strikeout. So 2 outs now. Tom Hinkie, Pat Tabler. 4-4, and another strikeout. Hinkie, good Lord, he's pretty good. Going to the bottom of the 11th, Terry Leach, Ernie Witt. Witt is 2-for-4 with a double. 1-3, lefty. 24. That's going to be ground ball hit to Brett. Brett scoops it up, brings it to the base. 1 away. Lloyd Mosby, center fielder, 2-2 error check. And that's a fly ball, and no error on Pat Tabler. So 2 away. Rance Milkinis. 1-3. Lance Milkinis. And he has a fly ball to center field, so we go to the top of the 12. Top of 12. Bob Boone, 1-4. We got a stadium check. Bob Boone, Mr. No Home Run Man. He hits it to center field, 1 away. Frank White, 1-for-5 with a double on the day. 6-6 error and a throw chance. 22, that's going to be the short, and no error. Fernandez guns that one to first. McGriff catches it. 2 away for Kurt Stillwell, 1-for-4. 4-6, and he's going to strike out. That is number 7 for Tom Hinkie, and that's going to be it for Hinkie because that's like his 3rd inning he's pitched now, I think. So we're going to have to pull him, whether they like it or not. Manny Lee due up. Terry Leach, this is his 2nd inning. 5-6 wild we could ignore. And a 41, and good, no walk. Manny Lee, 3-6, and he's going to line that right at Brett. Tony Fernandez, 2-for-4, and no walk, thank God. 23, that's a liner right at second base. And 2 away for Junior Felix, 3-4. That was almost 3 walks. Fortunately, the blue die was good to us for a change. He pops it up to second. 5-4 is a pop up to second. And now Tom Hinkie is going to have to sit down. Yeah, he's pitched 3 innings, giving up 2 hits. So he's going to be done. So they're going to have to find someone else to bring in. Stottlemyre pitched yesterday or the day before. So Dwayne Bryce, Xavier Hernandez. I guess Xavier Hernandez. He's got like the lowest ERA. Well, this guy has a slightly lower. Yeah. I guess it's going to be Hernandez. They spent their bullpen here. They really don't have much left, which bodes well for Kansas City if they can get a couple hits. Gary Thurman, 1-2. Gary Thurman, 64. That's going to be center fielder. 1 out. Willie Wilson, 2-1, and no. 42. Ground ball to short. 2 away. Kevin Steitzer, 51. And Steitzer, 35. That's going to be a single pass short. 1 on for George Brett. Xavier Hernandez trying to save the day for Toronto. And 3-1 on the range play is going to be to center field. It's over the head of Mosley, and that's going to fall in for a single. Steitzer goes to third on the play. So runners on the corners here. Danny Tartanbull, 2 for 5 with the home run, a walk, 2 strikeouts, 1 run scored, and 2 RBIs. 249 average. Come on, Danny. 4-5. Come on, Danny. Give us a hit, baby. Come on. 4-2 against a righty is going to be a fly ball. Otherwise, it would have been a home run. Damn. Oh, so close. All right, Terry Leach, he's pitched 2 and... So Terry Leach is done. They're going to have to bring in Monty, but notice Kansas City's done a better job with their pitching. They actually have their closer left. All right, Kelly Gruber, who has a good stat line, 1 for 5 with a home run, 2 strikeouts, scored a run and 2 RBIs. And this is the bottom of the 13th. Kelly Gruber, 1-3, and that's going to be a single into center field, no error. So he holds him just to a single. That brings up George Bell. George Bell. Gruber. Does Gruber steal? Nope, doesn't look like it. George Bell. Not very good at sacrificing. Almost walked him over there, though. 55. That's going to be into right field. 1 away. Fred McGriff, 2 for 5 with the home run. He could end it here with 1 swing of the bat. Or he could go down swinging on a curveball. 2 away. Ernie Witt. Ernie Witt. 2 for 5. 6-2. And that's going to be another strikeout by Monty. And there you go. We're going to the top of the 14th inning here. Extra free baseball for you guys. Xavier Hernandez trying to pitch through 1 more inning here. 1-2. Can he hold the Kansas City Royals off? 2-5 against a righty. It's going to be a ground ball out. Bob Boone, 0 for 5. Bobby, come on. 4-3. And that's going to be a nothing. 1-2 fly ball out. 2 away. Frank White, 1 for 6. And 6-3. Oh, I was looking at the wrong one. 6-3. And a 54. That's going to be a single, though. Frank White. Do we try to get him into scoring position by stealing? Do we let Stillwell see if he can hit him in? All right, we'll let it go. Stillwell, 5-6. Error and a ground ball possibility. 1-5. It's a ground ball to the pitcher. And look at his pitcher rating. He makes errors all the time. Unbelievably. He's going to have an error. Ground ball error. 1 base error. And that saved the bacon for Kansas City as Hernandez gets a little dribbler back, and instead of firing into first base, he lobbed it over there, right over the head of McGriff. Happens all the time. Instead of just throwing it in there, they try to lob it in, and they miss the whole player. Gary Thurman, 1 for 6, could be the hero today. Come on, Gary. 2 strikeouts, though. 5-3, and we got us an exhibition stadium check for Gary Thurman. 5-3, and that's going to be into center field. Mosby makes the play. We are going to the bottom of the 14th inning. I was going to try and do a doubleheader, but that's probably not going to happen now. Floyd Mosby strikes out. Ransom Millicanis, the DH. 5-2, and he's a lefty. He would have struck out. 5-3, and that's going to be into left field. 2 away. That brings up Manny Lee, 0 for 4 with a walk. And he strikes out. Strikeout number 4. All right, Xavier Hernandez. He's pitched 2 innings. I think you're going to have to pull him as well. So you're down to, I guess, I'm going to look up when Stottlemyre last pitched. So let's go back. Let's go to the previous game. I can't remember when Stottlemyre pitched. So that was one game ago. He did not. And 2 games ago. So that would have been August 1st. This game is on August 3rd. So that is 2 days later. I don't think he's going to be able to come in. So they're going to have to bring the lefty in whether they like it or not. Tony Costello is coming in. Tony is coming into the game here. We're in the top of the 15th inning. They do have a lefty coming up to bat here. We got a switch hitter, a righty, and then our one lefty. So if they're going to bring in the lefty, now would be the inning. Well, that would be my theory anyways. Yeah, he was a starter a couple games ago. I just wasn't sure how many games ago it was. But he also did, obviously, he was also in the pen for a little bit. He came in 6 games in the pen. But Tony Costello, he is 1-0 with a 4.50 ERA, 2 innings pitched, 4 hits, no strikeouts, no walks. We're a 6-6 ball game. We're in the top of the 15th inning. It's late night here, and that's a 4-3. So again, range play at the ballpark could turn really good or it could be really bad. So that's going to second base, and it's just going to be a normal, successful play there by the second baseman, Manny Lee. Steitzer 2 for 6. Come on, Stites. He's got a single in the left field. And they're going to put the hit and run on here with George Brett due up. Come on, George. 3 for 7 on the day. And no strikeout. And he's going to fly ball to center field. Having to retreat back is Steitzer. 2-away. And once again, we get to Danny Turnbull. Danny. Come on. 2 for 6 with a home run. Come on, Danny. 1-4. And if he was tired, that would be an auto single, but it's not. 25, and that's going to do it for the Royals in the top of the 15th inning. And now Kansas City's getting in the position where one more inning for our reliever here or less, and we're going to be in trouble. 5-6, no strikeout. Tony Fernandez fighting off those pitches. And a 5 is going to be a leadoff triple by Tony Fernandez. Oh my gosh. A leadoff triple. Defense has got to play in, and they're going to put the squeeze on. Let's do it. Let's put the squeeze on. Here we go. This is it. Do or die. Junior Felix. The squeeze is on. Bunts it. And that's a 5-6. Fouled off. Will batter redo attempt? Click yes or do regular bat. No, he's going to try again. Give it again. Go again. 6-4. And that's going to be bunted. Defensive choice, number 1, retire batter, or 2, attempt to get runner from third. Roll a d6 versus base runner of runner on third. If it's higher and the runner is out, subtract 1 from base runner if infield is in. So click bunt on batter's card to resolve the bunt. Bunted, defensive choice, retire batter, or attempt to get the runner from third. Roll a d6 versus. So we bunted it back to the pitcher. That's what the 1 is. 1, 2, it goes to the pitcher. So Monty's got it. We got to try and get the runner from third, so we click this. Click yes if defense will retire the batter. Click no to get the runner from third. No! Ah! Wait a minute. Attempt to get runner from third. Roll a d6 versus the base runner of the runner on third. Higher and the runner is out. So thrown out at the plate is going to be Tony Fernandez, although it won't let me hit the throw out. I have to do the force out. But he's caught at the plate. The leadoff triple goes away as they try to squeeze. And the defense, once again, for Kansas City saves a run. But now they want to put the steal on for Junior Felix. And he'll go. But he gets thrown out, caught stealing as Bob Boone guns him out. Talk about defense. Whoa. Toronto trying to put the pressure on, and Kansas City is equal to the task. And the leadoff triple goes for naught, and then the single runner disappears. That's a 1-2. Kelly Gruber, 3-2. That's going to be a fly ball into center field, and Kansas City somehow, someway, miraculously gets out of the 15th inning. We're going to the 16th here, still tied at 6-6. It is the 16th inning, which matches the score, which means this will be the inning someone scores. Pat Tabler, 4-1. Error, 2-4. And that's a single. Lead-off single into center field. And an error on Mosby. It's a one-base error, so getting all the way to second is going to be Pat Tabler. Well, now you have to sacrifice. Defense has got to play in. We got to try a sacrifice to get him over, right? 6-2. Lead runner thrown out. Batter safe at first. Thrown out trying to get to third. I got to click over here. Sorry. And unfortunately, that's going to do that. Wow, more defense being played. Unbelievably. This one, Clinton Parks is probably pulling the last little bit of hair he's got left out on this one. Frank White, 2 for 7. This will be his 8th at bat. 3-2, and that's a blank. Come on, Frank. 4-5. That's going to be ground ball back to the pitcher. Going crazy enough, going with his slowness, but he still makes it over as the only play is to first. That's when the 6 comes up, you have to go to first. So runner in scoring position for Kurt Stillwell, who's 1 for 6. With a walk and 2 strikeouts. 2-1 and possible wild pitch. 14 is a wild pitch, and getting to third base is Bobby Boone. But there are 2 away. Kurt Stillwell. Tony Castillo. 3-2 is coming off of Stillwell's card. Come on, Stillwell. Come on, baby. 4-6. And that's going to be a single past Lee. And the Royals take the lead 7-6 here in the top of the 16th inning. Gary Thurman, the right fielder. Castillo's trying to get through this inning. And another wild pitch. 16 is a possible pass ball. It is a pass ball. And that's it for Castillo. They're going to have to find someone else. I guess Dwayne Buse. He played in 7 games. He's a right-hander, 5.82. I think this is the first time we even heard this guy. Yeah, he's nothing. In real life, he was 1-0, 5.82. He only pitched 17 innings, gave up 13 hits, 10 strikeouts, 12 walks in the whole season. So you don't see much of Dwayne Bryce, B-U-I-C-E. He's trying to hold on for dear life for Toronto. Gary Thurman, 4-6. And he comes in and strikes out Thurman. But the damage is done as Kansas City has a 7-6 lead going into the bottom of the 16th. But it's not over. We have George Bell, Fred McGriff, and Ernie Witt we need to get through first. And Monty's gone through his 3 innings, which means we cannot use him because we made Toronto get rid of their pitcher, which means we're going to have to bring in either Rick Lukens, Luis Aquino, who just pitched the other day, I believe, Jerry Gleaton, Charlie Leibrandt just pitched, Bob Buchanan, who only made 2 appearances as a reliever all season, Jose DeJesus, Brad Saberhagen made 1 as a reliever, and Kevin Napier actually made 1. So I guess we'll start at the top here with Rick Lukens. Well, let's take a look at Rick. And we've gone deep into the pitcher's box there. No wins, no losses, no saves, no ERA. He did pitch 4 2/3 for us so far, giving up 2 hits, 6 strikeouts and a walk. Well, that doesn't sound too bad, but he needs to get through pretty tough customers here. George Bell, Fred McGriff, and Ernie Witt. That's George Bell first. Let's see what happens. And he almost hits George Bell. But George Bell delivers into right field with the leadoff single. That brings up, I'm thinking we might actually, George Bell, left fielder. He's a 3. He'll stay in. That's fine. I was going to pinch run for him, but I think George Bell's fast enough. 3. Oh no. Rick Lukens doesn't give up many home runs. Good thing he doesn't, because look at Fred McGriff, 1-20 and it's gone. Wow. Of all the numbers to roll, about give me a heart attack. This is a liner at second. And runner is doubled up first as George Bell gets a little bit too far off the bag, gunning it over his White to Brett, and that's a double play. That's your 4-3 double play. And Toronto's down to their last out, down a run, 2 for 6, a double, a strikeout, and a run for Ernie Witt. Here it is, Rick Lukens versus Ernie Witt. 6-6, no strikeout as a 20 was not kind. And a 1-2, that's going to be a ground ball, hits to Stillwell. Stillwell picks it up, throws to Brett, and a big cheer from the 100 or so Kansas City faithful that stuck through and stuck around to watch this wonderful comeback by Kansas City. It's ended in the 16th inning. Just like I said, the score was 6-6. In the 16th inning, usually that means someone's going to score. And you can see it was all Kansas City there at the end. 3 runs in the 8th, 1 in the 9th, and 1 in the 16th. The win goes to Jeff Montgomery. He improves to 5-3. The loss goes to Tony Castillo. He drops to 1-1. The save goes to Rick Lukens. Kansas City home runs Danny Tarnbull, his 8th of the season. For Toronto, Fred McGriff and Kelly Gruber, both homer for the Toronto Blue Jays. Let's look at the actual game stats, if you don't mind. What an interesting game. What a comeback by Kansas City. 18 hits. They had only 2 doubles, no triples, and 1 home run by Danny Tarnbull. 5 walks, 14 strikeouts, and 2 stolen bases, 1 by Willie Wilson, 1 by Gary Thurman. 1 sacrifice fly, and 2 double plays they were hit into by Steitzer and Bob Boone. For your Toronto Blue Jays, they had 12 hits. They had 1 double, 2 triples, 1 by Lloyd Moseby and 1 by Tony Fernandez, and 2 home runs, Kelly Gruber and Fred McGriff. You would think that means with 1 double, 2 triples, and 2 home runs that you probably won the game. But 4 walks, 12 strikeouts, 2 stolen bases, Tony Fernandez and Junior Felix. And they had 2 players caught stealing, Tony Fernandez and Junior Felix. And they had 2 hit into double plays, Fred McGriff both times. And they had 3 errors, 2 by George Bell in left field and 1 by the center fielder, Lloyd Moseby. The starting pitchers, Tom Gordon gave up 6 runs, all of them earned, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, gave up 2 home runs, pitched 6 and a third inning. Jimmy Key was doing well when he was pulled formally in the 7th inning after 7 and a third innings. He only gave up 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. But the loss goes to Tony Castillo. The win goes to Jeff Montgomery in a wonderful comeback, excuse me, by Kansas City, who comes into Toronto and sweeps the Blue Jays and improves their record to 58 and 49. And Toronto drops to 3-6 versus Kansas City on the season after starting off 6-0. Let's go to the play-by-play here. Let's see here. So, second inning, looks like they scored 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, 2-0 lead. In the bottom of the third inning, they scored 4 runs on 3 hits, no errors. So after 3 innings, 6-0 was the lead. From there on, from the third inning all the way to the 16th inning, Kansas City kept them off the board. And what really, really killed Toronto was the lead-off triple in the bottom of the 15th inning with no one out. And they tried to put the squeeze play on, and because that was what was rolled. So it's, I just do whatever the dice say most of the time. And it sounded like a good move. Put the squeeze play on and bring the runner home. And they ended up getting it runner caught at home. And then the runner at first tried to steal from first to second. He was promptly caught stealing. And instead of having a very promising 15th inning, they go home losers. As in the 16th inning. In the 16th inning, if we scroll all the way down, geez Louise, it was Pat Tabler singled to center field. There was an error by Lloyd Moseby. Then Pat Tabler went to second. Bob Boone bunted to first base. Pat Tabler was thrown out at third. Bob Boone from first on the fielder's choice. Frank White grounded to the pitcher. Bob Boone went to second. Frank White is out at first. Tony Castillo had the wild pitch, which sent Bob Boone to third, and then Stillwell singled past second base. Bob Boone scored the winning run. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and that gave Kansas City the 7-6 victory. And what a ball game that was. Thanks to Clinton Barks and everyone else that stopped in to say hello. Appreciate it. I was going to do a doubleheader, but this game has taken us 1 hour and 18 minutes to complete. So we're going to have to say goodnight for the time being. We'll see everyone next time. Thanks so much for stopping by. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you guys next time.